Have you ever thought to yourself, I want to get better at fighting games, but I don't know where to start? Well, these beginner resources are a perfect place to do just that. Welcome back. It's been so good to go through the learning tools I've used in years past. My name is Image Omega, and I'm using this whole series to document my journey in learning Mortal Kombat 11. Along the way, I'm going to share with you guys what I learned because I know the best way for me to improve is to actually teach it. And that's exactly what's been so fun about this episode of Combat Chronicles. I went back to resources that I haven't looked at in quite some time, and I found some new ones that I've started analyzing and are quite tremendous for all of us starting out. Now, before I just go listing off these resources, I do want to recap what I consider the 3 most important keys for learning a fighter. Key number 1 is to find a support group. That could be an entire Discord, a small group of gamers like the Shack Fighters I rely on, a subreddit, or even simply just one other person to play some games with. Having that consistent source of support is absolutely crucial, and it keeps you accountable. That's exactly what I'm doing here when I report in with you guys, because I feel obligated to improve, and I can really only help others if I work on myself first. Key number 2 is finding all the resources you need to learn. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do here for you guys today. Key number 3 is understanding failure is your friend. You're going to lose, and that's really a good thing because even the pros lose, and when they do, they learn from it. If they stopped playing because of losses, they would not be fighting at the level they are. Now, before I get into my list, I have to say that Mortal Kombat 11's tutorial mode is an absolute must. Not only do you get Shao Kahn's cool announcer voice as a reward just for going through it, but it'll teach you all the basic mechanics, and there might even be some things in there that you never even knew about. You know, things like breakaway or get up defense. They're just the pure necessity when playing against another human, especially if that human player is getting juggles and mix-ups on you continuously. It's a long tutorial playthrough too, so if you don't do it all in one sitting, that's understandable. I didn't, but I absolutely made it a priority to go through it. And then later, I went back through some specific sections just to make sure I understood them, and then I went into training mode just to practice them over and over. That's the type of muscle memory that you'll need to develop. So before you get into competitive or casual mode, go through that tutorial section in MK11 first. Okay. On to the resources, and I'm going to start off super unconventional here and recommend first and foremost an ebook. The good news is this ebook is free. It's just a simple downloadable PDF that I've linked below. It's called From Masher to Master, the Educated Video Game Enthusiast Fighting Game Primer, and it's written by Patrick Miller. This guide goes into such succinct detail about the fundamentals of fighting games. It's all information that stands the test of time. And it uses Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo as examples within the book. And that's great because of how comparably simplistic the focus on mechanics are in a game like Street Fighter 2. From Masher to Master breaks down the rock, paper, scissors aspects of fighting games, and it thoroughly explains common terminology you'll hear in every fighter like hit and hurt boxes. Plus, it gives you ideas to practice and implement right away. That's what makes this ebook a gem, and I think it's relevant not only for Mortal Kombat, but for all fighting games, above and beyond. Another couple quick ebooks I want to give a shout out to are written by cross-counter TV host Gootecks. These 2 ebooks, which I believe are free in Kindle form if you have Amazon Prime, they again use Street Fighter as the platform to teach. Mortal Kombat 11, now more than ever, places an emphasis on footsies, spacing, and zoning, which means learning these ideas from Street Fighter mechanics is really perfect. Gootecks for me was one of those great online resources that really got me started when it came to understanding fighters. And plus his show was super entertaining. Anyways, the 2 books are called Simplifying Street Fighter and Fighting Game Fundamentals. I've read them both, and they show you exactly what you need to practice, expanding on the ideas of the previous ebook I mentioned. And most importantly, he helps you establish the proper mindset for improving. Most people don't tell you that you need to go into training mode and just practice execution of your special moves over and over for 30 minutes to an hour, just to warm up. Gootecks does. And as a side note, I'll dive more into this in the future. But learning how to practice in training mode is absolutely crucial. And right now, you should just think you want to practice the basic execution of special moves or different combo strings and just do them over and over. Build that muscle memory. Now this brings us to Grandmaster YouTube. I really don't think there's a subject matter out there that you can't search up and learn on YouTube. Grandmaster YouTube teaches fighting games too. And it will absolutely be your #1 resource that you'll come back to over and over. Not only can you look up information and simply follow along with the videos, but there's tons of it out there and from all different personalities. So while I'm going to recommend a few to you, you'll probably find some of your own that you may resonate better with, and please, if you do, share it with everyone here in the comments below. Plus, Grandmaster YouTube is so wise that when you start watching a few of these videos, he's going to start recommending more of the same to you and introduce you to new ones. First on my Grandmaster YouTube list is a longtime fighting game player and commentator, and that's Sajam. He brings together a comprehensive tutorial video series that he calls Breaking Down the Basics. What immediately is great about these videos is that he puts together them in an easily digestible format. Most of them are just under 3 minutes. Now everybody's got time for that. It's all quick and reliable info that you can apply right away. There's specific tactics that are applicable for every character, and he goes into detail on just basic information that is 100% specific for online or local competitive play. The videos are just recordings from his streaming, but don't let that deter you because they're still very, very good. Next up, we have a tutorial series that's still being updated and getting new videos. We're talking about Ketchup and Mustard's From Casual to Competitive tutorial playlist. These videos are extremely well done. We're talking about great editing, very in-depth, well explained, and their basics video even explains tournament variations for characters, which for some reason the game doesn't already have set as a default. The tutorials give you plenty of examples that you can follow along with, and the entire series is building off itself, with the next video being a stepping stone up from the last one. Plus, it's just info that everybody needs to know to improve, especially newcomers. Last on my list from Grandmaster YouTube is Bafael and his bread and butter combo guides. Every person that picks up a fighter thinks they need to learn combos to get good. But that's just not true. And if the words spacing, zoning, and footsies, if they don't really mean anything to you, then I wholeheartedly recommend you go back to one of those ebooks I recommend and read those first. Or, of course, just seek out the help of Grandmaster YouTube if that's more your speed. Bafael is one of my go-to sources when it did come time for me to learn some combos in Street Fighter V. He's been playing fighting games for a long time and making content for them for a long time too. That's why I see him as a great resource for you and I to both learn from. Now, Mortal Kombat 11 is new, so he only has a handful of characters that he's done tutorials for as of the time of this video anyways. So if you don't see your character in his list, leave him a comment and tell him who you'd like to see. I can imagine he'll be going through much of the roster, and it'll all be very valuable to you. I don't expect you to wait around though, so consult Grandmaster YouTube and throw your favorite character's name in the search box. The final resource that I think you have to be present on is Reddit, and more specifically, the Mortal Kombat subreddit. You're going to find it all there. You have humor, highlights, news, and character discussions. They have new fight nights every week, and as you can imagine, they're only going to get better, especially as the community grows. At over 100,000 combatants strong, they even have developers posting and keeping the lines of communications open. Are there more resources out there? Why, yes, absolutely. But I'm not going to overwhelm you with information. Learning involves doing, so you have to go and play the game too. These resources here are just a great place to start. They're the ideas you need to know and what to start learning and practicing first. I hope these resources help you, and I'll post all the links below. And really, thank you guys for joining me here again as I learn Mortal Kombat, because a lot of the footage in this video is just me playing my online matches, so you can see where I am and how I'm progressing. And you'll notice I've picked up a Raka. Like I said, I'm here to document and learn too, so thank you so much for listening to what I had to say. Hey, if you enjoyed this, a thumbs up means a lot, and it really helps me getting started on this journey. Drop me a shout in the comments, let me know what you think, and definitely hit me up on Twitter at ImageOmega. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Nothing but gratitude here, and if you want to stay up with me on this journey, consider subscribing. That's it from me, guys. Nothing but gratitude. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.